Good afternoon. How are you? It's Brandon Devnich here from i3D Themes with this week's interactive number 95. Now this is kind of a special week here for me. It's been 16 years that I've been working with Colin at a little project that he had called Interactive 3 Designs and his website i3dthemes.com. I tell you, it took a little bit for me to figure out whether or not it was DI3 or I3D or 3DI, typing it in. I remember sitting down at his desk and he said, "Here, sit here and start working on this website." And he says, "Go to the website." And I'm like, I-E-D. No, he says it's I3D. I'm like, oh, transpose those letters there. And it took a little while. But I3D was short for Interactive 3 Designs, with the being, part of Interactive 3 Designs, 3D. And so here we are 16 years later. We've used everything from FrontPage 2000 and 2002, 2003, SharePoint Designer 2007, Expression Web 1, 2, 3, and 4. We used Dreamweaver MX 2004 all the way through to CS 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Creative Cloud, which is what we typically use these days for our website templates, but Expression Web 4 is still very prominent. But it's come a long way, and we've focused in on a lot of different things. We've done Flash websites and Flash intros, responsive websites in the last few years, well, more than a few years anyways. And of course now our focus is more and more on the technical aspects of web performance, making sure that websites load fast. We've really specialized in that in the last couple of years. So here we are, 16 years later, and a lot has changed on the internet, but a lot of stuff remains the same. And so this is our interactive where we typically talk about what we've been working on here at i3D Themes over the last week or so. So I'll tell you what Colin's been working on this week. This week has really been, a big focus for him has been the relaunch of Pegasus.com homepage. He has the mock-up all complete, and he'll be putting that actually into code next week. The reason we're doing that is when we launched Pegasus, which is our WordPress performance optimization platform. It's a plugin and it is a software as a service. When we launched that back in December, it wasn't so much a WordPress performance optimization as it was a Google page speed optimization plugin, where we tailored the pages so that they performed well for the Google page speed metric. And if your pages are scoring well for that metric, then they are going to be performing better. But once we figured out how to make your pages score well for page speed, we realized that there's so many more things that we can do that we can layer on top to make your web pages load even faster. And so it's moved from just being a Google page speed optimization plugin to something so much more. It is the whole ball of wax. Ball of wax? The whole kit and caboodle? The full meal deal? It is all of that. It does the optimization of the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript. It optimizes images. It uses a CDN system automatically. It does so many things to make your web pages load fast without you having to do anything. And it gives you feedback as to how well they are doing. So that's what Colin has been working on the last week, is to tell the story a little bit better than when I wrote the Pegasus.com homepage back in December. And so now here we are today, and he should be having that completed in the next couple weeks. And so really excited to be seeing that. But when he hasn't been doing that, there's been a lot of phone calls this week with different sales inquiries, probably having something to do with our Summer Sizzler sale that we started up last week. Summer Sizzler at i3D Themes is where you can get 25% off, at least 25% off on website templates and WordPress themes. Typically our WordPress themes and our website templates are about $69, and they are marked down to $49. There's a pro package available that's normally $99, and that's been marked down to $69. So you can get actually a pretty good deal on that here until the end of summer here in BC, Canada. So the end of summer for us, we say August 31st. Kids go back to school first week in September, so there you go. So if you want to take advantage of that, it's on for the next month. So he's been very busy with the phone calls, and but he's been able to field them, and so I've been able to continue to do more work on our Pegasus platform. What we're working on this week are 3 key things that I've been really trying to get at the last few weeks anyways. The first one is a better delivery mechanism for a type of image format called WebP. Now WebP images are they're like a JPEG, or they're like a PNG image if you've ever heard of those types of images, except they're smaller. But they only work in certain situations. They work on the Opera browser. Opera supports them, and so does Chrome. But Chrome is like 60% of the internet. And so if you are using Chrome, your web browser supports this different web format, or this different image format, I should say. It's not a .jpeg, it's a .webp image. Now, why would you want to use that? Well, they're about 30% smaller than your JPEG image or your PNG image, which means that they're going to load faster. The load time for the image is going to be 30% less. And so if you can make your web pages load 30% faster, that's fantastic. So the trick has been using a system that automatically delivers them without you having to worry about how to make it work in your web pages. Do you have to change the image extension in your code? That would be too complicated. There are plugins out there that enable you to use this system, but you have to plug one thing in here and another thing in there, and then plug something over here, make some changes here, and it's pretty complicated, and we don't like complicated here if we can help it. So we automated this system so that it just works. So this week I finished the implementation of a secondary CDN, which then routes all the images automatically through this system that automatically detects whether or not the web browser is going to support WebP images, or if it's one that, like Firefox, that doesn't support it. And so it will automatically deliver either a JPEG or a WebP image for you. You don't even need to worry about doing the conversion. You just start with a JPEG image, and our system will do the automatic conversion. And if the web browser supports the smaller, better compressed image, it will serve that one automatically to your visitor. Again, you don't even need to know how it works. You just turn on the plugin, and it just magically in Chrome, things are going to be loading faster. Yet another reason to use that browser. Also this week, I have implemented extended support for the Cloudflare CDN system. CDN, if I glazed over that, I'm sorry. CDN is short for Content Delivery Network, and that is a network of servers all around the globe that house your content automatically and then serve it to those visitors that are close to them. So if you have a visitor in Japan, but you're based in New York City, your server's in New York City, the user from Japan will use automatically through their web browser the CDN server that's closest to them, and that may be in Tokyo. And so that means that your CSS and your JavaScript resources will load really, really fast for them because they're close to a CDN endpoint. So Cloudflare is another type of CDN where all the traffic for your website flows through them. It's really fantastic in that they can block denial of service attacks. It's really fantastic. But there is some complexity involved when trying to keep on top of the cache that Cloudflare does. And one of the features that we've added into version 1.10 of the Pegasus plugin is the ability for you to put in your API key for Cloudflare. And if you do that, when you go to make a change to your web page or your blog post and you hit save, it will automatically tell Cloudflare to go and also clear the cache at Cloudflare, because you've updated your stuff on your web page. It shouldn't cache that stuff any longer. In addition, we've added a new CDN system that caches Google Fonts. Google Fonts can take a long time to load, and you only want to load them once. And so we've added a system that automatically goes and caches those and makes them load super fast, like 2 or 3 times as fast as they typically are done through Google. So it's been a pretty busy week, on top of other little features and bug fixes that we've found in different situations. So we've been really super busy. Next week we're going to be starting to add support for PayPal at Pegasus, so that you can sign up for your Pegasus subscription using PayPal. We've had some comments saying it sure would be nice if I could use my PayPal account. You're gonna get it. So that's what we're working on next week. And then after that, word on the street is that I'm going to start working on a very specific Pegasus web hosting that is very tailored towards performance WordPress hosting. Very, very fast WordPress hosting that will go hand in hand with the Pegasus Accelerator plugin. One of the things we've found with hosting out there is that a lot of hosting companies, it's garbage. They pack too many people on their servers and they're just too slow, and it's just, yeah. So we're going to be focusing in on performance WordPress hosting as well through the Pegasus platform. And so we'll be working on that probably through September. But it'd be nice if I could get that out by mid-September, maybe even the beginning. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you've had a fantastic week. Thanks for joining me. Hope you have great plans for the weekend ahead, and that it's not nearly as smoking hot as it is here in Victoria, British Columbia. We had a heat wave. And what a heat wave to us means that it's 5 degrees Celsius hotter than normal, which I guess is like 10 degrees Fahrenheit or so hotter than normal. And so this week it reached 28 degrees for like 5 days in a row. Now 28 degrees Celsius, I looked it up, was 82 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're probably saying, that is just not hot. It's hot when, you know, you are born of the polar ice. When we are birthed, we come out of the glacial springs and we have ice water in our veins. So that's really hot for us. No, I just joke. We don't live in igloos up here. Computers don't run very well in igloos. The water, ice in the computer parts, smoke, you know, fire, short circuits. But in any case, no, yeah, it's been pretty warm here for us. But it should start cooling down. Goodness gracious, I'm sweating here. But we can't complain too much because in about 2 months, it's going to be rain for 6 months. So it's been pretty nice, actually. Anyways, talk to you again next week. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a fantastic week. All right, bye-bye.